Hey there, it's David here. I'm the head coach at the Body Shapers, which pretty much means I help women drop fat, get fit, and ultimately take control of their body. And in this video today, I want to actually share with you 3 ways to help get your motivation back for exercising. Because I ask every new client and woman that I deal with, what's probably holding you back right now from getting after the goals you just spoke to me about? And almost all the time, I hear something about their motivation. They can't find the motivation. They used to have it, they've lost it. It goes up and down. So if I can give you a couple of strategies to help with that, I know that that's going to help you get on top of your body and start exercising like I'm sure you want to. So what I want to show you here is 3 of probably the best ways to find that motivation. So let's start with the first one up here, which is talking about intrinsic motivation, which is a type of motivation that essentially comes from the inside. It's doing things for your own benefit and not for someone else's benefit, which is actually more the second one here, extrinsic motivation, which I'll get to in just a sec. But finding some intrinsic motivation is absolutely key because almost all athletes and superstars in the fitness industry do it for themselves. As much as we want to impress others, as much as we want to do things for outside, we've got to find deeper reasons for wanting to do things. We have to realize that being fit and healthy is not just about us, it's about a representation of our lives, about how we feel, about how we look after ourselves, and ultimately, what we want to do in this world and actually being the best version of ourselves. And when you realize that exercise is so much more than just looking good on the outside, you realize what it means to you and you can find that motivation and it helps you stick with it long term. Because that brings me to the second type of motivation, which is extrinsic motivation. Now, this is the motivation of looking good to others, being confident in public, wearing that nice bikini. And the thing is, there's a place for both these types of motivation, and if you can use them well, you can find it really easily. So what typically I've found from my research and what other big names in the fitness industry have said is that often people get started short term with this extrinsic motivation, meaning at first they're motivated by a wedding coming up, by wanting to get into a nice dress, wanting to look good for summer, something extrinsic. But to stick with it long term, that's when you've got to find this intrinsic motivation to say that it's actually more about you long term and feeling good about yourself. So if you understand that, you can use extrinsic motivation short term. Say, here's 6 weeks, I want to look this good, get into this dress by summer. Extrinsic short term, great. But then long term, think more intrinsic about how you want to feel, how you want to be a role model for your kids, how you want to be a role model to your friends and family. And that will help you get the best out of both and use that to really conquer all sides of that motivation kind of scale. The other third point here that I think is really important is visualization and actually seeing yourself being where you want to be. And I think this is a huge, huge way to stay motivated. So a really easy way to do that is almost daily to set aside time to actually just think about where you want to be, where you're going with the actions you're taking, the food, and just thinking about what it means to you in general. And if you can just almost meditate on that for a couple of minutes a day, it goes a long way. Because often we just forget why we're doing things. And when we're hungry, when we're out with friends, when we're tempted to sleep in or eat the wrong things, we lose that visualization of where we want to get to, and all we can think about is, great, the bed's so warm this morning, it's so cold outside, or man, that chocolate tastes so good. We forget to visualize where we actually want to be. But if you can keep that in the forefront of your mind and visualize exactly how you're going to look, how you're going to feel, then you'll find that motivation and you'll want to get up and you'll want to get cracking on the exercise and you'll want to make it happen. So, if you can understand those 3 little tips to find your motivation and implement them into your life, I know that you'll find it so much easier to find that motivation and start getting the results you want. So I hope this helped you. If you want more tips and tricks like this to help take control of your body, like us on Facebook because we're constantly putting up things that can help you out. So that's all for now. See you later.